The COVID-19 has created fear and stress at home. The preschool teachers have an onerous responsibility of getting the children out of that fear zone and bring them to the learning and the comfort zone. With these words, I wish Ashish, Chandar and the team the very best.
Bhavin bhai, now you are there on the thing.
Oh, so you're considering me nearest to the gray hairs. That's how I have been sequenced. Thank
No,
you
sir,
very much. Huh?
You are in the hierarchy now from the guest list, sir. So you are not
Okay.
in the gray hair.
Not in the gray community yet. No, thank you very much, SquareTales, Chandra, Ashish. You guys are doing fabulous job. This was long due, and education world predominantly when we wanted to build the pressure of public opinion to make education as a number one item on national agenda, teacher development and professional development was always equivalent to the public pressure. In fact, you have done quite justice by having this training program for preschool, because almost 7 years back, when our foreign partners, Busy Bees, which is the world's largest preschool chain, we did the first attempt to bring the professional development courses in India. And predominantly, we only focused on the preschool segment, because I think so. I and the team at Education World is completely of the belief that to teach 2 years to 8 years is much tougher task than a high school or a university level. And we had always believed that this fraternity and this teaching community needs much more recognition than anyone else, because they are really laying down the foundation not only of the child, but they're shaping the future of the nation and the world. So all the topics that you guys have taken an initiative to do this teacher training program is really apt. You have our full support. And also my message to all the teaching fraternity would be, I think so, as teaching as a profession, where the old saying was like, you had no options and then people get on to teaching. I think so, this is the time. I mean, we have moved much ahead from that. But this is the time. You guys are like warriors. You have already contributed enough during this crisis time. But along with crisis, what opportunity, I think so, companies like SquareTales and every one of us are coming through. This is the best time to hone the skills and getting on to training program, which will actually shape up new things which are going to come ahead of us. Lastly, I want to emphasize saying where this particular segment is largely going on digital, and a lot of these trainings and implications are on digital. I would suggest SquareTales and any of the ECA members and the bodies to also inculcate digital pedagogy in these training sessions, because digital gadgets to be used in this segments by teacher is a new subject, and probably some course which are going to help them for digital pedagogy will be of great help. So thank you very much for inviting me, giving me an opportunity to talk to all of you, and all the best to all the teachers. Thank you very much. Thanks, Chandra.
Yeah, so Bhavin bhai, I think so we had some third sense or some things working in the frequency. What you said, our panelists for the day have taken the same thing, how the teachers are going to use the digital mechanism to be addressing to the students and also to the parents, because today now the students are in the hands of parents. So
True.
put together both. I really appreciate and thank. Over to Ashish.
Yeah, so thank you, everyone. And I think it's important for us as a company to make sure that we also contribute to the development of the ecosystem, right? We don't want to be just out there selling a product and not really developing an ecosystem that actually makes us successful, right? Our ultimate vision is the success of the child, right? And progress of that child. So this was one of the ideas that Chandra had brought, that we needed to do this. And this is step one, right? We're right now we're on this a much more detailed teacher training program that we want to launch. That is all around Bhavin, all around education, digital devices, digital platforms, and including our normal way of teaching, right? Integrating all of that together. So we're in process of doing that. But anyway, not going to take too much time doing marketing. But thank you to all the guests of honors. Thank you to the panelists that are going to spend their time, giving all their knowledge to the sets of teachers that are joining us. And thank you, Chandra, for putting all this together. So over back to you.
Yeah. Before the panelists leave, I would just like to, before the guest of honor leave, I'd just like to share the panelist of the day. We have got Suman Sood ma'am, we have got Dr. Seema Negi, and we have got Miss Harsha Ramaiya. So Suman Sood comes in from Kolkata, Seema ma'am is from Maharashtra, and we have got Harsha ma'am from Gujarat. Over the next 7 days, we will have panelists from at least 10 states and guest of honor from around 14 states on a daily basis. And so I would, and one more thing, the three panelists put together have an experience of at least 75 years. A platinum experience is them with them. So the teachers are going to really get something which they might have just hoped for. And our chat lines are open, and we will be there to answer all your questions, subject to the time permitting, and as the things move from one panelist to other. I thank you all the guests of honor. I thank Ashish to be there with us. And now we move to the next job of taking our classes. Thank you very much, all of you.
All right. Thank you, Chandra.
Bye. So friends, that was a brief, what we say, welcome from all our guests of honor. Now we move to Suman ma'am, and she is the moderator for the day, and Dr. Seema Negi and Harsha Ramaiya ma'am are the panelists who are going to present their program and also share their views on today's topic of classroom management, right? So over to Suman ma'am.
So good morning, everyone. Thank you, Chandraji, for this great opportunity for us to connect with each other and also to connect with the educationists, the teachers who form the main part of all education sectors. So as far as classroom management, I think now we have to think about management in other terms, because from classrooms, we have moved into living rooms. So we have to think of how to manage those living rooms in the houses of children. So in classrooms, we thought about managing the environment. Then there was emotional management of the environment, and also, how to keep children connected. So now when we are moving online due to the recent times, due to the special times and the challenges ahead, the challenges have increased. Earlier also there were many challenges, but now they are many-fold. So we have to work together, we have to think together, we have to put our thoughts together. For us, all of us, it's a new thing. None of us are adept at it because we have got into a situation overnight. And hats off to the teachers. In most of the schools, they have taken up the challenges beautifully. Overnight, they have learned things which they had never even ever thought of using. So these are some of the, I welcome the panelists, our experts in this subject, Harsha and Dr. Seema. We'll listen to them and see what their thoughts are first before we move on to questions answer session. So over to Harsha first.
Thank you so much, Suman. Thank you. Thank you, SquareTales. Thank you, Chandar, and the entire team of Square Panda. So, Chandar, before we start, can you just switch on my PPT so that the educators can have a run through that? The topic today that we have to discuss, Suman, is a very fantastic topic, that is classroom management techniques. Now, today's classrooms have changed from the classrooms that were existing earlier. The lockdown has brought us into that stage wherein our bedrooms have become the boardrooms and the classrooms. So the delivery of each session becomes very, very different.
Early literacy is the foundation for all learning. Building on this foundation, our mission at Square Panda is to help every child succeed at early literacy. One of the things that parents may not always be aware of is that learning to read is an extremely complex skill. Not only from a behavioral perspective where children have to attend school for many years to learn how to read, but also from the perspective of the brain where some profound rewiring needs to happen to enable skilled reading. One of the other things that I want to emphasize is that it is very important for children to really get engaged and have fun with the reading process. That is what ultimately will drive their intrinsic motivation to keep coming back and keep learning.
So today we are going to talk about a wonderful topic, classroom management. Now, when it comes to classroom management, what I feel is, the second slide, please. It is the ownership of the classroom that matters. Whether it is a traditional classroom or an online classroom, I think the ownership of the classroom is very important, and it is very, very important. So there are two factors when it comes to, taking the ownership of the classroom. The first factor is responsibility, and the second factor is control. Now, when I differentiate both and when I separate these both, responsibility means to set up the classroom, to take each and every factor in your own stride, specifically means the control of my own self, not the control of the class or of the students. So here, these two factors are very, very important when you are conducting any kind of classroom, whether it is an online classroom, whether it is a traditional classroom. It's very, very important. So today, specifically, all the classrooms have changed and they have become online classrooms. And here to mention very clearly that today's
And
today's
Harsha,
classrooms
again, the voice is breaking. Voice is breaking. If you could just be louder.
I am trying to be very, in fact,
Now,
I'm
this is
shouting so much.
better. This is
This
better.
is
This is
better.
better because I'm seeing the messages which are coming.
Today's
Yes.
classrooms, Suman, have changed a lot in terms of, delivering your sessions, because earlier it was, can you change the slide, please?
Yeah.
Chandar, I've come on the third
Chanda,
slide.
please change the slide.
Yeah. So the traditional classrooms were wherein the teacher entered the classroom and she had the whole control over everything. But today, the classrooms are different. The teacher in her home and students are in their respective homes. So it becomes very, very difficult for the teacher, to control. So before going and jumping in the classroom section, what I would try to, make a note here is that this session, specifically I have designed wherein I can motivate the teachers for being online, because most of the queries that we are receiving these days is that they don't have time to prepare our teachers, our staff, or our own self for getting online. So it is a pan challenge for all the teachers how to go online, because they feel the fear of getting rated, because whatever they are delivering is showing on the screens of the parents' mobile, and the parents are also listening to it. So the teachers are feeling a little scared that if at all I will be rated, I will be judged, and a lot many other fears. Second thing is here that not having enough resources at home. So let's come to that fact very straight, that jitna bhi hai aapke paas, usse aap kitna effective apna classroom bana sakte ho. So for a time being, I think we have to forget about the traditional classrooms, because I am really not sure, I'm very uncertain that what is going on in the classroom. So when you're talking about making the class engaging, and when you are only one in front of the screen, when you are not able to see any of the students, it becomes all the more difficult for the teacher to deliver the lecture. Because when you are in the classroom, when you're seeing 30-40 children, you can have a eye contact, you can get responses from the children. But here you are seeing your own self and you don't know what is going on the other side. So it is very, very important for the teachers to really make the class very, very interesting. Suman, am I clear now, Suman?
I think I can hear you, but again, I'm getting messages that voice is not very clear. It breaks for about 3, 4 seconds in a period of about three to
Okay.
4 minutes. One person is saying.
Uh,
So
Chandar, if you can just change
anyway,
the slide because those slides are little. Chandar, if
yes,
you
yeah,
can change the slides.
yeah. Now it's better. The slides are better.
Next slide. Next, next, next. Yeah. So now this is very important when you're, no, the previous slide. So this is very important. Previous slide, previous. Even one more previous. Yeah. So when you're planning your classroom, forget about traditional classrooms, forget about online classrooms. It's very important that any class that you set has to be planned a day before. Chandar, the next slide has to be planned a day before. You have to list down the material that you require. Because if on the same day you are going to, look around for the materials, it is going to be very, very difficult. For example, you are taking a craft session, and then at that particular moment, you are going and looking out for glue, you're going and looking out for scissors. It's going to be very, very difficult. So before setting the online classrooms, all the material, if it is a storytelling class, if it is a craft class, if it is a GK class, anything that you require has to be set on the table, because that will give you confidence and that will lead you to the next session also. Check the
Voice has totally gone now.
availability.
Can we just have Seema? Can we just have
Now
Seema?
here, availability in the sense you will have to ask your parents when they are getting on the session, that they also have to be in a zone. They have to. Hello.
Harsha
Yeah.
ma'am, can you just put off your
Yeah.
video and see if the voice comes in fast enough? Can you
Okay,
just check
I'll
it?
do that. I'll do that. Okay.
Yeah, now the voice is
So
coming in clearly. Yeah.
very, very well, very well. Should I start from the beginning, Chandar, or I'll carry on here?
No, please carry on from here, ma'am. You can just go 1 or 2 minutes
Okay.
behind. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're planning your classroom online, these points are really very, very important. You have to make an arrangement of everything, where you are sitting, what aids you are needing, the background, everything, because when you are coming over the screen, these all things really matter. They are very, very nominal things, where they are very, very abstract things, but when it comes to the parents, or when it goes live on the social media, all these things will always be into consideration. So it's very, very important. Second important thing is time your class and activities. Now here, when I mean by timing your class, is that you have to consider the age of the child for whom you are designing the classroom. Because if you tend to design a preschool class for an hour or 40 minutes, something like that, then it will become very, very boring. So it's very important that you schedule in a proper time limit. For example, it is a storytelling class, and if you are trying to, take that session for say around 25, 30 minutes, it's again going to create boredom for the children. So the activity that you choose and the time frame that you set in is very, very important when it goes to online sessions, because you don't have the control over the class when it comes to online sessions. So your class has to be very, because if you try to stretch a lot, it will lose interest. And we have to keep in mind that the children whom we are targeting, their age factors, their ability to sit on one place, their ability to see on the screen and then adapt is very, very important to note. Because as we are not prepared for delivering online sessions, nor the children were prepared to take online sessions, so it is a battle on both the sides, and we have to keep doing, and then we have to conquer this battle. So we have to keep experimenting, and once you've delivered one session, I would request the educators to please revisit that session so that only you and you will be able to judge that this was taking a lot of, this was stretched out a lot. I think I need to cut down on this, because that is very, very important. A short and crisp online session will be taken and accepted by the students and by the parents very, very nicely, rather than giving on long, long sessions, specifically for the preschoolers. When it comes for elder students, entirely the setup is different, because they have a habit of taking online sessions. So when it comes to preschoolers, we have to be very, very specific. And when you're introducing a topic, you have to be very clear and very crisp in that. Do not take a lot of time, to keep the topic surprising, because even that will tend to lose interest. So if you want to build up any kind of a surprise factor, you have to send a short video a day prior, that okay, tomorrow I'm coming up with this video. So that will, keep the children waiting for that video. But on the same day, when you are delivering the session, any session, may it be a storytelling, may it be a rhyme session, may it be a craft or drawing session, or whatever session you are delivering, that has to be very cut and crisp. Next slide, Chandar. So when managing your classroom emotionally is very, very important. Chandar, can we have the next slide, please? Okay, managing the classroom emotionally is very, very important. If it is on traditional classroom or an online classroom. So here, these are four main factors that I would really like to, focus upon is love, care, respect, and understanding. Now, when it comes to love and delivering an online session, is that because I am here and there are many students on the other side whom I'm not able to, see. So what my work is to appreciate them in general. So I will not point out any particular student as I do it in the classroom. Now, care here means I have to take care of the topic that I decide to deliver. So here, all the topics that you deliver in your traditional classrooms cannot be replicated the same way when it comes to online. So that care has to be taken. Second is the respect, because here when the videos are viral, even the parents are there on those sessions to see the sessions. So that respect has to be given to the parents, and you have to acknowledge them on and often, because that will help you connect with the parents. Because here, when you come on an online session, the connectivity is very, very important, because it's not only to the child that you are delivering the lesson, it is to the parent also, because ultimately the lesson that you have delivered online, the parent is going to be the part to explain that lesson or take that lesson further. So I think whenever you are making a video or whenever you are connecting with the session, when you're delivering the session, it is very important to keep the parent in consideration or in your remarks. If you keep on telling in your sessions one or twice that I'm very thankful to the parents, the kind of the way they are taking the sessions and the way they are helping their students to do, I think it will boost up their energies also. It will keep them motivated, because at large the parents are also not trained how to give the children trainings, because they are not teachers. So we have to handhold the parents, we have to handhold the children, and in that respect, we have to deliver our sessions also. Understanding here is a very, very important factor, because when we are planning our lessons, as I mentioned earlier, you have to design it. It cannot be a random session that today I decided to take a storytelling session and tomorrow I'm going live and I'm connecting with the parents. It is never going to be that. You have to be very, very understanding when you are going to plan anything, because it is going from you to the students, to the parents, and on the social media. So understanding in terms of designing the age appropriate delivery session and the medium that you choose, so that both the things are very, very important. Next slide, please, Chandar. Next slide. Okay, so here when you're preparing for your online class, the previous slide, manage the kids and how will you communicate? These three questions are very, very important. are very, very important to make the session very, very interesting. Because how will you teach? You are teaching in a traditional classroom and you are teaching an online session is completely different. It's not going to be the same. The way you wish the children good morning in the traditional classroom and the way you wish the children good morning in the live session, both is going to be very, very different. Second, how will you keep the children engaged? When in the traditional classroom it was very easy because you were able to take a round in the classroom, and if you found the children to be fidgety, you were able to intervene and then get that child back in the routine that was happening in the classroom. But here in the online sessions, the things are very, very different. So you don't have the control. So the activity that you design itself has to be very, very engaging. So it should not be that kind of an activity wherein you yourself are only talking and the children are listening. So you have to figure out those activity wherein you find that the participation of the parents and the children is equally there. Though you are not able to see them, but you are able to feel that, okay, on the other part, yes, this kind of things are happening. I am trying to fold the paper and I'm expecting that the parents are folding the paper. So it has to be as simple as that. How will you communicate? This is another very important factor when it comes to online sessions, because otherwise in the traditional classrooms, we don't have anyone to supervise, so we are at our best. But when it comes to online, we tend to fumble because we feel that someone is watching us, so that fear always remains within. So try to use mixed language. And when I am stressing on the mixed language is because not each and every parent understands English. We have to reach out to the parents. We are not here to demonstrate our language skills. So when it comes to communicating or delivering the session online, I think you have to use, and that will help you better, because if the parents are not able to understand the essence of the activity, they won't be able to take it further. So it's very important that the communication that you do with the parents has a mixed language. Then setting up your online classroom, as I mentioned very, very clearly, that plan your classrooms, prepare and master your technology. Now, technology is going to be our second tool, and we have to master it. And how will we master this technology is by trial and error and experimenting. So every time, it happens that we trust on the technology, and at times, technology does not support us. So that is the first important thing for us to understand that, okay, we are prepared, but at times there are glitches in the technology. So the best part is to master the technology. And in this lockdown, we have ample of time, ample of period to master this technology. So the only tool to get a proper, organized, interesting, and an engaging classroom is to, number one, master your technology. Then children and screen balance. When you're planning your sessions, you have to keep in mind the screen time, because unknowingly lot of screen time is being given to the children. So age appropriate activity, and when you're planning the classrooms, divide in a way that not all activities need screens. Some activities can be explained through messages, and then that can be conducted by the parents at home. So divide your sessions in such a way that all the activities do not need the child to be sitting in front of the screens and then understanding. So divide your screen time as well. Organize your class very, very strategically. Strategically means that since the time you start till the closing time, each pointer has to be set very, very nicely. The greeting of the children, the contact, and plan attention grabber. So this attention grabber has to be there, because here we are physically not in touch with the children. So if you are having a longer class, say about 20 minutes, at least two attention grabbers have to be there, wherein the children, you have to, play with your fingers or say something tongue twisters kind of a thing, so that, children come back, and they, or else you can, just have a 1 minute game with the children. So that will bring the children back to what you are delivering. So that is very important. Encourage fun, play, and activities. So when you're designing your class, see to it that you touch all these factors. You encourage, you have fun, because unless you have fun in delivering the session, the students won't have fun to accept that lesson. So any lesson that you're planning, for example, you're taking an English lesson, try to punch in some play for a while, a word play kind of a thing, or character play kind of a thing for a minute, so that children feel connected to you. Then is communicate clearly and frequently. So clearly, when I mean is that how Colonel Sheikh had told me to go slow, not in terms of volume, but with terms of the pitch. So you have to be very, very clear with your words, because if you run faster, the children will not be able to understand that. And frequently means that when you are delivering a session, you have to touch on few points which keep on repeatedly addressing, so that the children and the parents understand that, okay, out of this session, these were the key points and I have to take them further. So this was from my side, Suman. Thank you so much. And I hope, and I'm very sorry for the technical glitches and the audio breakages, but I tried my best to deliver. Thank you, Suman.
You're home during the lockdown or lockdown with the SquareTales reading app. Turn your child into a confident and independent reader with the SquareTales reading app from Square Panda. A unique app that uses technology to mix fun stories and engaging characters into a reading and learning experience like no other, week on week. This week, the kids are reading a new book. So what are you waiting for? Download the free SquareTales reading app today.
I think it's rectified now, and we are able to see the last slide somewhat clearly. Now, over to Suman ma'am and Seema ma'am.
So, good morning, everyone. And your good morning should be very, very vibrant, because if it will not be vibrant, then we are not ready physically and mentally for this session. So, though I cannot see you, but the good morning should be as vibrant as you want your children to present you when you enter in the class. You want your children to respond when you enter in the class. Doesn't matter whether it's virtual class or it's your traditional class. To start with, I want to tell each one of you who is sitting here and attending this webinar today, whether it's whiteboard or it's blackboard or it's Zoom or it's your comfortable room, whether it's online or it's offline, it's you, the educator, it's you, the teacher, who plays the magic. It's you, the educator, who brings color to your child's life. You are dealing with the most sensitive age. You are dealing with the most tender minds, and you are the one who have the bigger responsibility. As Colonel Sir said, that you are the one who is preparing the nation in your class. And trust me, you are building the base. What other teachers do in primary and secondary, that is, the foundation is already strong and we keep on building. So you are the foundation of education. My warm welcome to each one of you who is open to learning and who has come here. Already you have mastered one step. That step is you have become techno savvy, which many of us were still in two minds whether to become techno savvy or not to become techno savvy. Is our Facebook and LinkedIn and Snapchat is good enough, or do we want to learn more? So you are already in the mode of learning. So congratulations, you have really done a good job. Now I'm coming to a very simple thing. Most of you can see me. So can you tell me what you can see apart from just A for apple? So I want each one of you to take 30 seconds to think something that is beyond this apple. You have to be visionary because you are teachers. You have to think beyond what is seen. Apple, red color, more beyond, think deep, see, R, I can read everything, round, energy, apple. You will write doctor, healthy, yes, yes, I can read. But again, take a pause and think deep. Go beyond what you can see. Bright color, doctor, handle, apple a day keeps the doctor away, juicy, healthy, sweet in taste. Okay, cutting it short, I'll come to you. One apple is equivalent to a fully grown orchard, and that is your child for you. Each and every child has immense potential. Similarly, each and every teacher sitting here has immense potential. All we need to do is try to identify that potential. If we identify that potential, then it becomes very easy for us to work on it. Since Harsha ma'am has put down all the points so well which are needed for the class, what I have done, I have converted into your A to Z, because A to Z is the most interesting thing wherein our pre-primary revolves around. Now, when it comes to child, it is very important that when you will be ready to take your online class, you need to have a very, very good connect with your parent and with your children. If you will not have a good connect with your parent, teaching children will be a difficult journey for you. So from my side, what you have to do, if you have to take your class tomorrow, today you can make a small V Connect video, and it can be very enthusiastic video that the children, I am waiting to meet you tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll be here sharp at 8:30, right in front of our screen. See, you need to build up that energy. You need to build up that enthusiasm and use whatever is there at your house, whatever resources available, and just use it. So when I decided that I have to come for this session, I had a beautiful doll who was just sitting. She thought she also wants to see pre-primary teachers because they are the one who create magic. So see everything what is there around your house. First and foremost is you have to analyze. Analyze the situation. That stands for your A. Analyze the situation, what is there in and around your house, what is happening outside, and plan your teaching learning accordingly. But before teaching learning, your first 3 days will go in managing your virtual class. You will set up some rule. You will set up the ecosystem. So that analyzing the situation is very important for you. Then B comes, you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared for your class. You cannot just say that, okay, I'm taking class from my home, so it's okay, even if I'll not dress up, or even if I'm wearing the same dress again and again. No, be ready, be prepared physically, be prepared mentally, be prepared emotionally. If you are prepared, you will be able to get connected to your children in a much faster manner. See, we need to be ready for the change. We have seen the change and we have adapted to the change. So we need to be ready. We need to be ready that, okay, I have planned the best of lesson, but maybe your children who are sitting across the screen, you will see on your dashboard that you will not see any emotion, no excitement, no energy. You might have to change it quickly. So you have to be ready for the change. But at the same time, you need to be ready for the camera also, because we are on camera. So you might have read everywhere, smile, we are on camera. So every time you have to be ready that you need to smile, you are on camera and the entire world is looking at you. So whenever you come in front of camera, imagine that you are the best actor or actresses and you are the one who's going to get Oscar or Grammy after that. And after your session, pat your back and say, wow, I have done a good work. And this needs to be there. Be ready for this kind of mental and physical change. Coming to your D, we need to demonstrate whatever we are doing. We need to dramatize whatever we are doing. Till the time our body will not speak, till the time our hands will not speak, our gestures will not speak, we will not be able to get connected to our children. So let everything speak. It's not just your mouth which is speaking. Everything in and around your entire persona, your entire personality speaking. That's important. Coming to E, very important is the emotional connect. How emotionally you are connected to your learner. Now you'll say that you are on one side of screen and children are on the other side of screen. So what you can do, suppose if some pre-recorded videos are going on wherein you have enacted, please keep a close watch to your dashboard. Just see the children. Can you see them attentive in the class? Do you see some child who is very gloomy? Do you see some child from last 3 days who is sitting in his pajamas also? Do you see a mother who is not very happy, very sad? Those are the times wherein you have to then go beyond your call of the teacher, and after your class, make it a point for initial few days to call 5 parents. So in a way, I mean, in a week, you will be able to call all the parents. Try to understand the parents as well as the child in a better manner. The better you will understand them, the better it will be for us to then plan our class accordingly from next week. Because the thing is, first week is your time to build up rapport. First week is the time so that children and parents both need to fall in love with you. Initially, we used to say children need to fall in love with you, but now even parents need to fall in love with your enthusiasm, your positivity, that yes, this teacher will come and my child is ready for that. That kind of positivity needs to be there. Then coming to F, feel the moment. That is the moment. Make it as fun filled as possible. We have to teach our content, we know. We have to bring them to academics, we know. But more than that, we need to prepare our children for various skills. Time and again, I think every one of us, we speak about that, that academics, we know we will take care. But when it comes to rapport building with pre-primary, that's very important. They need to be mentally ready for your session. So for that, feel that moment. If you will feel, children will feel the same. So maintain that energy throughout. Coming to a G, you have to grab the attention. Harsha ma'am also spoke about this, that we need to grab the attention. For grabbing the attention, again, as I said, please keep a close watch on your dashboard. If you see the child is not attentive, you need to have some prompts. You need to use the prompts properly so that you can grab the attention. And for grabbing the attention, one important thing is there should be an element of surprise. You need to surprise your children. I started with an apple. I can start with a watch also. I can say, oh, my watch has a story to tell. My watch was telling me time is running out. My watch was telling me that, oh, it's 8:10. I have to go for the class. See, imagine that there should be, I mean, just create everything. It is your house. You know, you have so many things. Maybe not the resource that you need for that class, but you can make your story based on the resources that you have. Coming to H, very important, humor. There should be humor. If you will add the element of humor, of you, if you will garnish your entire lesson, entire class plan with humor, your children will be happy sitting in front of you. They will come and they will wait for you, because that will be their moment of happiness. During these times when everybody is pressurized, they are going through various mood swings, everything. If you can add that humor, which can then lead to their happiness, I think you have done a wonderful job. And that is what is needed. Coming to our I, very important is inquiry. Small children have thousands of questions to ask. They are the one who will start the inquiry process. Just leave them somewhere, just give them a prompt and let them come up with the ideas. Appreciate all ideas. You become a part of that, become a part of inquiry, start innovating new things. Ensure that your 40 minutes time in front of the screen is very, very interesting, because till the time it's not interesting, it is like becoming, telling our part or sharing our story and going away. It will make no sense, no sense. It will burn out you also, and your children will be next day not motivated to come and sit in front of the class. So please do that, make it as interesting as possible. J stands for the journey of joy. We all are together in it. It's a joyful moment for me to come and address so many educators from Pan India. You are the one, as I say, I mean, if you will ask me personally, I have taught everyone from nursery to grade 12. But it is very difficult for me to teach pre-primary children. You tell me to go and teach grade 12, I'll be more comfortable. But pre-primary is the section wherein I don't think I can do justice when it comes to teaching. But yes, I can be there in the class throughout the day and do whatever they tell me to do. So that is what I think Colonel Shekhar also said. The only section which can make me do whatever they want me to do is my pre-primary. And you are the one who is teaching them. So kudos to you, and excellent efforts by each one of you, what you are doing in your school. Coming to K is kinesthetic learning. You all know about that. You are trained for that. We need to involve ourselves. If we plan our lessons and our class as per kinesthetic learning, children will be more interested to do the activities with us. My L stands for the lifelong learning. Whatever we are going through right now, we have to ensure that whatever we are teaching them stays with them. So for that to stay with them, you have to recapitulate it again and again and ensure that the learning becomes a lifelong learning. Because for teaching, say shapes. You don't have to have all the shapes with you. If you will look around, math is there all around our house, science is there all around our house. If you want to teach them, if you want to make their grip proper, you can tell mothers, okay, tomorrow sit with two different kind of dals, and one should be like your rajma, or other can be your say masoor dal, so that you're teaching children how to pick up, their grip is becoming better. So everything, whatever is available, make it your resource. And don't forget, L stands for love. Everything revolves around love. Your love for learning, your love for teaching, your love for delivering, or your love for grooming your own self and standing in front of the camera. So that is what you have to let everything revolve around love. Then comes our M. How motivated are you? Are you motivated to manage your class? If you are motivated and it's an intrinsic drive which has come from within, then you will be able to motivate your children, because you have to motivate your children. It's not very easy. Now, very soon, monsoon will start. So it's not very easy during, if it has rained throughout the night, we all feel, oh, I should not get up tomorrow. And they're small children. You need to motivate them. They need to be motivated to come to school. Yes, my teacher is coming and she's going to teach me something, or we are going to play, or we have storytelling session. That motivation level needs to be high throughout.
Learning to read was never so much fun. Help your child acquire reading skills starting at home. Get your child reading and learning with the SquareTales reading app today and turn them into confident readers for life. Each book slowly increases the level of learning, following a sequence of phonological awareness, so your child becomes an independent reader. All this while the child is playing. Download the SquareTales reading app today.
Coming to N, what newness are you bringing to your class? Are you the same one who was using the same toys, same elements in the traditional classroom, and you have picked up the same and you are using them in your virtual classroom? Or you have brought some newness? To bring that newness, you need to be a lifelong learner. Please do research. We have so much of time. There is ample amount of resource available. Ample amount of resource available. And I think everybody is ready to collaborate and share. Bring the element of newness in your class. It will enhance your skills also, and it will make your classes very interesting. P stands for plan for advance. Very plan in advance. It is very, very important. You need to plan in advance, whether it's telling something to parent that few things need to be ready so that you can do the activity, or it's you. If you have not planned and then you feel that, okay, I'm doing it from my home only. So if I need something, I can quickly run to kitchen and get. No, you have to make up your mind. This is your school time. Then only the child can make up his or her mind that this is my school time. I need to sit in front of the camera. I need to sit in front of my mobile or my laptop, and I need to be there, present. So arrange everything, plan in advance, and sit with all the resources around, so that whenever you want, and have some extra resources that can be your surprise element. Q stand for questioning skill. Again, very important. What we do as pre-primary teachers or other teachers or parents especially, we try to curb the why. Do not do that. We need to let children ask question. We need to inculcate the art of questioning. The more the question, understand, the more they are interested in your class. That is why they are asking. So let the questions flow. Let the questions flow and see how beautiful your classroom will become if all are thinking individuals. Sometime a 3 years old give us a better solution than what we think. So let the questioning skill be sharpened day by day. It brings me to R. We need to reinforce whatever we are teaching. We have to summarize everything before we finish our chapter. We have to then tell them, okay, tomorrow I am going to come up with this. That surprise element need to be there when you finish your chapter. But at the same time, please learn the art of respecting. Respect your parents, respect your children, respect your own self, respect your screen. Trust me, your laptop and your mobile is more important than anything else these days. If something happens to laptop and mobile, we are worried what will happen. Our entire world revolves around that. So have respect for that. Before you finish your session, express gratitude. I am so happy, I am so thankful each one of you were there, and I am so happy my mobile was proper today. I'm so happy the Wi-Fi connection did not go weak. Be thankful, practice gratitude. That is one skill which will go long. So we have to do that. That brings me to S. S is sensorial learning. To pre-primary teachers, I don't have to teach sensorial learning because you are the one whose everything, every chapter revolves around sensorial learning. Ensure that when you are teaching them online also, at least three senses are involved when you are teaching. Plan your activity, plan your lesson, everything based on that. That brings me to T, that is time management. Very important. You cannot let your lecture go for 1 hour. We cannot let our children sit in front of the screen for 1 hour. That's too much, right? We are debating about screen time. So we have to plan it very well. Within 40 minutes, 35 to 40 minutes should be your ideal time. You start, you recapitulate, you have the activity, and you close it and prepare them for the second one. And if you have back-to-back lectures, ensure that you are giving them break in between. Please do not make our small children sit in front of camera beyond that. We have to be very, very mindful when it comes to use of technology. Then from T comes technology. As I told you, you all are techno savvy. I am very sure all the teachers who are sitting there and all the young pre-primary teachers, they might be using Siri also, Alexa also, Snapchat also, Instagram also, Facebook, LinkedIn, everything. You are more techno savvy, maybe much more techno savvy than me also, because I belong to the other generation. So you are techno savvy, you can plan so many things. There are so many ways in which you can make videos. There are so many ways wherein you can play with your voice, make something and then go for voice modulation. Please use technology. You have time. Research, 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 and share. If I have learned something which is really good and which can make a difference, and I'll keep it for myself only because I want my lessons to be the best, no, it will not help. The world is changing. Change with the world. We need to be more empathetic. I will not tell you to be sympathetic, I'll tell you to be more empathetic. Understand each and every individual, understand their position, understand maybe they are not as techno savvy as you are. Hand hold. Till the time you will not hand hold, you will not grow. We cannot grow in isolation. Understand that. We have to grow in collaboration. Which brings me to you. Understand the skill set of each and every learner. What skill set do they possess? So when I said that you have to call at least 5 parents in a day, you have to go beyond the call of your teacher, beyond the call of your duty. Try to understand from the parent what kind of learner the child is. And you also observe the same through your dashboard. Here, when you will understand their skill set, you might have to take help of your school counselor. You might have to tell the school counselor also that, okay, I want you to observe this child, or I want you to talk to this parent. So ensure that you're understanding each and every learner. So when you understand your learner, trust me, managing your class becomes very easy. Whether it's virtual or it's traditional class, you need to understand your learner. V stands for visualization. Visualize every week prior to what you are going to teach, or a day prior to what you're going to teach, how my class will look like today, how well I will take my session, how is my session going to be. See, the power of visualization is very strong. When you visualize, then you implement it accordingly. So visualize, see what is happening. Maybe first day when you will take your Zoom class or any online class, you might find your class very messy, noisy, running around, this, that, everything. Perfectly all right. It is the first time we all are learning. We will falter, we will learn. We will falter, we will learn. We'll improvise. Then start making rules for your class. So visualize the kind of class that you want and then work to implement that. That brings me to W. Very important, wow factor. Wow factor is so important. It needs to be a wow session, right? So ensure that your parents, your children, you, every time when you have done something good, you say, wow, we have done it. And we have done it together, because this time it's not only you who is teaching, who used to do in traditional classroom. Your parents are equal stakeholders. So this classroom, this modern classroom management requires parent to be the equal stakeholder. So when you say, wow, it is wow, we have done a good work. Not wow, I have done a wonderful work. It's we. Please remember, the power of we is very, very strong. It's we, not I. That brings me to X. Be extra, extra, and capital extra careful about your surrounding. Since you are taking your class from your home and you feel that today I'm not feeling very good, I don't want to stand and take my class, I want to sit and take my class, I'm sitting on my bed, and you will completely forget that there is the teacup lying here or your coffee mug lying here and your towel is lying there. No, be extra careful. Everything is getting observed. It is not your traditional class where our didis and moshis will come and clean it and they will keep it ready for us. You have to be careful that what is there. Your surroundings should be proper. You are on camera, do not forget, and you're going to get the best actress and actor award. So ensure that your surrounding is very, very proper. What you want should be there. Be extra careful. Y stand for you and me. This you and me time. There should be this you and me time every time when you take your online lessons. It can be just 1 minute you and me time wherein you say, you're so important. And last night when I was planning for my class, I thought of you and I thought that this is what you like to do. That you and me time should be there, and encourage parent also so that they can come up and participate in you and me time, wherein it will help you to learn the learner better, understand things are not going to stay like this online mode will come to offline. Our children will come back to school, we will hug them, they will be there with us. But when they will be there with us, that time will be the most challenging time, because that is the time we will have to see whether they are emotionally strong or not. We have to ensure that they are mentally strong sitting at home. So how do we do that? For that, your you and me time will connect it to your learners. Brings me to Z, and we have come to the last letter of our alphabet. Zeal. How much zeal you have inside you? I mean, do you have a zeal for learning? Yes, you have. That is why you are sitting here. Do you convey the same to your learners who are sitting across the screen? You need to convey that from your body language. Create that zealous learning, create that zeal for everyone. But then Z also brings me to something very important. You need to zero down what needs to be eliminated. You have taken online session for 2 days. You will understand what needs to be eliminated. Maybe something that you are doing is not proper. Please eliminate. There is nothing wrong in unlearning, relearning, and learning. Make it a beautiful cycle. Unlearn, relearn, learn. There is no end for learning, right? And we are here for our learners. So please do that again and again, again and again, again and again. And before I conclude, I have again a very, very small thing for you, which I really like very much. And the learners who have joined us and who know me, and the teachers who are from my school, they know that. So I will tell them not to answer this thing. Now, I have a sheet of paper, and you know what happened in pre-primary, our parents also, you can discuss this with your parents. When we have to teach our children how to color, when we have to teach our children how to color, what do we do? Usually, as a parent, when we start at home, we give any shape to our child, any shape to our child, and we tell the child to color it. Okay, we give them all the colors and we tell them to color it. But there is one standing instruction we give. And if you, as a teacher, give that standing instruction, please do not give it now. It is like we tell them, color should not go out of the boundary. बाउंड्री के बाहर कलर नहीं जाना चाहिए है. And you know what we are doing? We are putting a 3 years old child in the box. And then when they come to other grades, senior grades, we tell them, think out of the box. How do they think out of the box when we have put them in the box? So a quick strategy for that, rather than giving them a shape when you are coloring, you are teaching them coloring, give them crayons, tell them to scribble. Let them scribble, 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 scribble. And when they will scribble, make a boundary. And trust me, if you have your 30 learners, each and every learner will have a different boundary. Each and every learner shape will be different, this coloring shape. And that is what matters. Each and every learner is different. Each and every participant of this webinar is different, and you have immense potential. Do not forget, you have immense potential, and that potential need to be sharpened. And if we do it together, whether it's online or offline, as I told you, you are the magician, you create magic. You are the teachers of pre-primary section. Who can do it better than you? So it's all from my side, Chandan sir.
You're home during the lockdown or lockdown with the SquareTales reading app. Turn your child into a confident and independent reader with the SquareTales reading app from Square Panda. A unique app that uses technology to mix fun stories and engaging characters into a reading and learning experience like no other week on week. This week, the kids are reading a new book. So what are you waiting for? Download the free SquareTales reading app today.
I thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Can I take it from here? Dr. Seema, you have created magic right now with all your motivation for the teachers, and you gave us a new dimension of alphabets. So very energizing points, and self motivation, as you said, is extremely important. The wow factor that each teacher must feel after her session is there. That pat on the back that yes, I've done it, and no, yes, not I have done it, we have done it. That is what is very important, involving parents, because in one of the sessions that I had conducted earlier with another webinar, there we had this point coming up that teachers, they are scared that because there are parents also sitting in along with the children, so they are wanting to be perfect. But I don't think there is a need to be perfect. Let them be themselves, and as you said, involve the parents in your session. Make them understand that we are also new to this whole situation. We are also trying to take it up in the best possible manner. So parents, for them, for everyone, it's a different situation. So let us do it together. Let us meet the challenge together. And once we have done it, so again, let us feel good about it. And yes, it's important to fall in love. More important to make the parents fall in love with you. That is very true. Let them also, acknowledge and let them feel that yes, this ma'am's class is coming up. So I want my child to attend this ma'am's class, and I also want to learn from this teacher. And mental readiness more than physical readiness is very important. So all the points that you have said are beautifully covered. And we have many questions from our from our participants. So I'll be taking up those questions with you and Harsha ma'am right now. Also, I'll be taking up. But before that, let me just comment on Harsha ma'am's presentation. So thank you for the tips and all the strategies that you gave us, Harsha. They really, as they're very pertinent and essential points you covered. That planning is a must. It's so important to plan, and we need to unlearn, learn, and relearn. So time management again is a very important issue. So what all the points that you covered, they are very true. One should be ready for the class, and one should know all the technicalities. It is important to be technically correct, and for that we need to handhold each other. So thank you, Harsha, thank you, Seema, for all the beautiful points that you have given us. I'm sure the participants here are going to be very well informed, and we are getting these messages that we need to share the PPT that Harsha had prepared with the participants over mail. So I think, I'm sure Chandraji will look at that, and you will be getting the PowerPoint through mail. If you can manage to do that, that would be very nice. And also now a time to take up the questions. So I have this wonderful question which has come up. This is by no, Firdos Lal Kaka. So, how would parents who are either working from home during their office time on their smartphones or on their laptops will be able to plug into a Zoom session fixed by the preschool? This clash of timings would surely pose the biggest challenge. I think this question is a very pertinent question. We need to answer it. So, would you
So
like to take that, Dr. Seema?
yes, do I take it?
Yes.
Very
Yes,
important
please.
question. And I really wanted to, speak about that during my session also, because this problem this situation will come everywhere. So what we have to do is, as a school, we need to design a module which is flexible module. See, I understand we have to go ahead with technology, we'll have Zoom session also, and we need to have recorded session also, because not every parent will be able to sit with their laptop or their mobiles in front of the screen. If they have even two children, if there are siblings, the elder child has taken father's mobile, mother is busy, or anything, it can be any adverse situation. Please, all the schools need to have flexible teaching hours also. We need to give them flexibility, or we have two time set. Otherwise, recorded session, if the child is not able to attend that session, that recorded session needs to go to the child, so that child can learn as per the flexibility of availability of resources. And the teacher need to get connected to the parent through a voice call or through a video call. That will really keep the child motivated to learn, because that connect is needed. Teacher need to see the child, and child needs to see the teacher. That's one thing.
And also, I think sometimes, if there is recording is available, so that recording can be sent to the parents also. This could also be one solution, because there is an option to have a recording when you're doing the online class. So maybe that recording can be passed on to the parents who have a problem. And as you said, flexibility is very important. It is not very important for preschools to have classes which are
True.
very formal. I feel it is more important for us to be connected to students, and as you had also pointed out about the emotional connect. So this emotional connect is very beautifully explained. It came out very beautifully when I was just reading about one instance. A child, when he saw his teacher on the laptop screen, he got up and he went and hugged the laptop screen. So just imagine how much the children are missing their teachers, and how beautifully, how now nice he must have felt looking at the teacher. So this emotional connect must have been created by the teacher. So that connect we need to continue to maintain somehow. Maybe those activities and videos, instead of total form online learning, we can be posting those videos and sending it out to them. So this was, thank you, Dr. Seema, for this question. I have another question which has come up. This is also by Mr. Firdaus. Having Saturdays as working days, maybe cutting down in holidays. So what do we feel about that? Should we have Saturdays as working days? Should the
Well,
preschools have Saturdays and work as working days? I don't know whether they are having. Are they? Harsha, would
at
you like
our
to take
end,
up that question?
Suman, at our end, Suman, we don't have Saturdays as working days. But I think, I don't know when the schools are going to resume. But once they resume, I think if we feel the need, we'll have to, take those Saturdays also in. Are you able to hear
Fine.
me, Suman?
So, yeah, able to hear you. So that means it's entirely up to the school whether they want to take it or no. But
Exactly.
preferably, it would be better if they leave the Saturdays out, because those Saturdays and Sundays are also off days for parents who are working from home. So let
Correct.
everyone have the family time together, because no matter what, everybody has to sit in front of the laptop, and you have to do things in a formal way. In an informal situation.
Very true.
So there are problems. So one more question has come up from Sapna. How do we convince preschool parents for online teaching trend, especially parents of children who are ranged from 1.8 years to 2.5 years, where sitting tolerance is very low. The attention span, as we say, is also very low. So
So, Suman, if I can take that question,
yes,
uh,
please
I,
do.
I think, it is going to be a time that will make them understand and get on track, because for every one of us, this is a situation which we never had planned for. So I think that gradually, as time permits, I think they will understand. Second important thing is that the lesson plan that the schools develop or create will be more important, because you cannot expect 1.8-year child or 2.8-year child to sit in front of the screen and understand the concept or the session or the delivery of what the teacher is explaining. So here the school's role is going to be very, very important. when they are planning their sessions and when those sessions are delivered. So as I mentioned in my presentation also, that all the sessions that you plan to deliver should not be screen oriented. So you have to keep that age factor in mind. And coming back to the parents, to be technology savvy, I think all the parents are very much on the Facebook, on the Instagram. So technology is not going to be a challenge for them. But when it comes to making their children understand, I think that is going to be a challenge. So the school's role, the teacher's role is going to be very, very important. How you are hand holding the parent and making them the teacher in disguise.
Right. Thank you, Harsha, for that answer. And also, adding on to that, I feel that at 100% participation, why are we looking at that? It doesn't matter. Even if the child is not totally 100% there with you, it doesn't matter. If he's seen the teacher, he's happy. Let him get up and do whatever he wants for the time being.
Correct.
So it's fine with us. So let us not worry too much about that, keeping children engaged and making sure that they are attending and they are not fidgety. Children are there to fidget and they will fidget, and they should not be sitting still at all. I feel they should be running around. They should do whatever they want to do.
And Suman, to add to what you said, these days the parents have used mobiles as the babysitters also. So the children are more accustomed to the mobile trainings, because they are learning too much through the YouTube videos as well. So, it's not a challenge for the children to glued up and understand, but it's very important for the parents to balance that time and give it across to the child.
Yes, and also if the teachers, they make the lessons interesting, as Dr. Seema has mentioned,
Absolutely.
that
And
persona. Your persona is what matters.
and
Absolutely.
these children are digital natives. They know
Yeah.
technology much more than us. As a 1-year-old child also knows how to operate mobile. Parents have given technology too early to our children.
Very true.
Very true. So I think many questions here are repetitions. Chandraji, how much time do we have?
Ma'am, we have almost overshot our time by 5-7 minutes. Today was the day
Okay.
one, right? But
Okay.
I would like
So,
I would like to ask one question to all the three of you, right?
yes.
A question has come from Gauri Krish Sagar, right? She's asking all the panelists, what should be the strength of online classes? Now, as we talk about SquareTales or the company Square Panda, when our edtech solution goes, it goes one-on-one. But ma'am wants to know, Gauri wants to know, when she as a teacher is teaching to children, what should be the strength of the class? We can start with Harsha ma'am, and then
So,
we.
strength, as in, I'm not actually able to understand the question, Chandra. Can you explain?
So what she's saying is, what should be the strength of the online class? So if she's taking a Zoom session now, suppose when we do an intercompany session, we have
Hmm.
100 people,
Okay.
then you would have 4 screens, right? I think the eye connect and the emotions and the visibility of the child of on the video to the teacher and teacher to the child, she is looking something like that.
Okay. So, if specifically I target to the preschool audience, for the preschool children, I think the Zoom classes should be restricted to not more than 20, because then the teacher will not be able to, identify the child or comment or appreciate. So, I think 20 number is good. But to take this further, Chandar, I don't think that Zoom classes will be effective when it comes to a preschool delivery of a session. It can be used as a connection wherein the teacher is coming and connecting with the students. So 20 number I think is good, because you can fit in 25 number of people on a laptop screen, so the teacher can face all the students. Might as well the children can also see the teacher. So I think somewhere around 20 numbers should be good, but to keep in mind that it is only used for connections, not delivering. Because then if you are trying to deliver any session through the Zoom session and keeping 25 children on screen, you will also tend to get distracted, because children won't be sitting in one perfect position to listen to your sessions. So that is very important to keep in mind. That is my take. Thank you.
I think same for me. Same for me. 20 is okay, the number.
Yes, I think same for me also, because then only a teacher will be able to monitor her dashboard. But yes, if there are certain session wherein a teacher is telling a story and it's a rhyme session or a storytelling session, then you can have more numbers wherein parents are sitting with the children and they are enjoying. But when you are going ahead with some concept or you are building rapport, I think 20 is the ideal number.
Exactly. So I believe all the panelists are saying 20 is the number, and I cannot challenge them. As I said at the beginning of the session, between them, they have 75 years of teaching experience, right? So no challenges from our end. We take that word from you. Yeah, we would always say one-to-one teaching is always good, but that's not possible every day. The teacher would not have that kind of a time ability to have that time with her to do it. Yeah, so 1 to 20 we give answer to Gauri. Many more questions coming in, but we are running short of time. But we would like to have a closing comment from all the three experts and share about their experience, some one anecdote where during this last 30 odd days, which has been a different kind in the life of a teacher also, one small anecdote from them and their closing comments. Yeah.
So shall I start, or Suman, are
Yes,
you
ma'am.
taking it?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
please. Harsha, you start.
Okay. Yeah. So my comment is in form of an appreciation to all the teachers who are coming forward and, taking this challenge up of coming online and teaching their students and giving the lesson plans. So I would just tell them that it's the good work that they are doing. Do not be judgmental, because only and only trial, errors, and experiment will make you perfect. So it's the way ahead. Technology is the way ahead for our lesson plans in the coming future. So we cannot, take it away from us. So it's going to be another asset in our toolkit. So we have to strengthen that part of ours. And every single day we have to try and practice how we can, adapt to this technology and bring this technology in an engaging form in our classrooms. So teachers, do not fear in facing the cameras. Try to feel that you are the celebs, you are the rock stars before you, come in front of the camera. So that is the way ahead. Thank you so much, Chandar.
Dr. Seema?
Yes. So all I have to say is, all the educators who are sitting there, just open your arms, hug yourself, and say, I love myself. Because you are learning, you have become a part of learning community. You are embracing technology, you are embracing change, you are taking care of your mental health, you are not getting depressed by the situation, but you are coming out in a very positive manner by learning. And the one who learns is the one who goes long ahead in the life. And we as an educator need to keep on learning and sharpening your skill. So you are important, and that is what I want to say. Love yourself. If you love yourself, you will love everything around.
I feel, schools, managements, teachers, parents, they have all got together and we are making monumental efforts to bring in some kind of normalcy in this abnormal times in the lives of children by bringing online classes, like, bringing classrooms into the living rooms. So all this will increase screen time a little, but let us not worry about that right now. We have been emphasizing on this point not to give too much of screen time to children, but here things are different. They are not able to go out and play. They are not able to do so many things. So if we are giving a bit more of screen time to them, which where they are connecting and feeling happy and feeling secure, so I think we are doing a great job. And moving preschools online is a very tough question, because preschools are all about experiential learning, hands-on learning. So teachers, parents, they all feel, how are we going to bring it all online? But then again, this is a challenge which we, due to with various other strategies, we are taking it up. So I feel, don't expect everyone to participate. Don't be having a very formal classroom. And here we don't need to stress too much about individualism. And we cannot fully recreate what is there in the physical classroom. We cannot recreate that on online classrooms. But as you said, Seema, I love that. Let us hug ourselves. Let us give a pat on our backs, and let us all get going and be motivated and feel that yes, we can do it, and we are doing it. And I'm very proud of all the education community, the teachers who have taken up this challenge overnight. And I think we are doing a wonderful job. Thank you.
So Before we say thanks to our panelists, our guests of honor, I would like to give a big, big, big thank you to all the directors, principals, educators, and teachers from across the country. This was one of the most largest conference which we could arrange. And believe me, nobody has registered more than 18 hours before this system. Day before yesterday night, we have shot off the links, the webinar, what we say, invites, and within less than 24 hours, the country has come up with almost 1,800 teachers joining us in one day. Hats off to all our panelists. Because of them, it's that the credibility comes to the system. Because of their experience, we can say the teachers are learning from you. And this 7 days is going to be a beautiful learning experience for all our teachers across the country. On the behalf of the panelists and SquareTales, I thank all the participants to be there with us in this difficult and a new kind of times, once in a lifetime. We pray to God that we don't get a similar experience once again in our lives. But yeah, this is once in a lifetime, which we'll always tell to our future generations. On the behalf of SquareTales, I thank Dr. Seema Negi, I thank Sumanji, I thank Harsha ma'am. Harsha ma'am, can you just come on the video for a moment before we
Yeah,
sign off?
sure, I'll do that.
Yeah, maybe the technology today has for broadcasted your
That's
son in a
okay.
big way. So we are seeing it, right? So maybe there was a challenge, but yeah, to our audiences, many people have put it on the chat box that we would like to have that PPT specially created by Harsha ma'am for this event. So I believe Harsha ma'am has given us a permission, and if not, you
Obviously.
give it online so that we can share it to all the participants of the webinar, not only of today, but for the next 6 days also.